Will say, something must be wrong with Halle Berry. She can't keep a man. Who's to say I want to keep a man? I don't want to keep the wrong man. Like, I'm not crazy.
No.
Right?
No.
So when you find that you make a mistake, we all make mistakes. We have a right to say, oh God, this was a mistake. Let me start again. We have a right to do that.
It's giving me that, if something happens and you should just give up, like you're always going to find something wrong with somebody. And maybe she's one of the women, well, she is one of the women by far that men were wooing over for years, like decades. And she was a movie star. So it's possible for her to get more than she will exactly what she wants more than any other woman. And I feel like since she had a taste of that, it's easier for her to say, okay, this isn't working. I'm going to move on. That's my gist of it. It's like the pretty girl syndrome. You know what I'm saying? Like, she dated a baseball player. She dated an R&B singer. I'm not sure the guy's names and stuff. I know Eric Benet, but the baseball player was early in the 90s. But she just had a lot of experiences.
David Justice.
Dave Justice. Dave Justice.
Yeah.
Wasn't he a boxer too? Or was that just with her?
She had two. She had Wesley Snipes and David Justice. Subsequently, domestic violence took place where she has bad hearing in one of her ears.
Damn, she dated Wesley Snipes too?
Yeah, after the movie, wasn't it? After
the Jungle.
Mo Better? I think it was Mo Better Blues or something. Which one, Kenny?
There's a lot listed here. You got David Justice, Eric Benet, Oliver Martinez, John Ronan, Christopher Williams, Gabrielle Audrey, and Van Hunt.
Damn, I forgot about Christopher Williams. God damn.
That's a lot of cats. I think at some point, right, you have to have the ability to self-reflect. You saying you're not keeping a bad man, but you keep choosing bad men, right? And can we have some accountability for that? And I understand you might be in a bad relationship or two, but once you start stepping into your third marriage and shit like that, it's bound to fail. People don't even understand the percentage of it. It's already half. And then when you have your second marriages, that's 2/3 of a chance it's going to fail, and 75% failure rate for third marriages and beyond. And that's typical because people, it seems like they vet worse when they try to get married, like almost if they on some rebound shit after their first marriage fails. And sometimes you just need to take a moment and it's cool to be by yourself. It's cool to get therapy. It's cool to go ahead and heal sometimes before just jumping right into another relationship. I think it's bogus for you to be able to just say that all these dudes are bad men. I mean, maybe some of them were, but damn, how many times? And if they are, why the hell you keep ending up with them? Whether they're bad men or not. Yes, you had to play a part in this. And as long as she can't take ownership of it, then she's going to continue to fail, right? She'll be a habitual dater or a perpetual single and whatever you want to call it, but she's going to continue to fail just because she doesn't have the ability to just view herself in the way she should be able to. You have to be able to rebuild. Sometimes you have to say, you know what went wrong? Her problem solving skills are horrible. If you can't really just look at it, I can't understand how you could just keep failing at it and then just say, oh, well, this one will be better. This one will be better. This one will be better. And you're not looking to see what the root of the problem was and why are you taking it? And I understand maybe you should just date a little bit longer before it's so many other things that you can do. Like look for the red flags. At some point you have to know you have to know what it is that you like and what you don't. And a lot of us, sometimes we waver and we shouldn't waver because we might really like one thing about somebody. A lot of men make the mistake sometimes too. You'll get with a chick with a fat ass because she got a fat ass, and you'll overlook the fact that she doesn't cook, won't rub your back, or be a nurturing woman at all, and stay with this broad because she got a fat ass, and you want to walk around with a fat ass on your arm, and that works for you.
That sure happened to me.
Right. But you learned from it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You ain't keep doing that shit, did you? You ain't keep doing it, did you? I think we all have did that at some point. But the beauty of it is you learn from your mistakes. At some point, we have to strive to become better humans. And in that, it takes self-reflection. And that's what most of us lack. We won't hold ourselves accountable, and we'll never give ourselves a look to say where we could have went wrong with this situation, even if it was just choosing wrong. Because you can't control what another person does. We all have autonomy, right? We can't just make somebody do shit without using tremendous force, which you probably shouldn't do. So knowing that, you have to see how that person is. Let them be them and learn from it. I'll let somebody else roll, man. Bad look, though.
It gets worse.
All right. Anybody else on this Halle Berry? Run it back.
I think she just coping. I think it's hella cope. Most women that actually get in relationships don't get in them happy that they ended. Like in a real, like I'm not talking about a one night, a consensual sexual or situationship. I'm talking about an actual relationship. When you get married or you trying to date seriously, you're not hoping that it ends. And if you consistently picking people or acting in a way that's ending those relationships to travel law point, you got to do some self-reflection. That woman was extremely gorgeous in her heyday. It's not many men she couldn't have got. So when the world was her whole oyster, right? You couldn't get one out of all of that. Like, I don't know, that's just strange to me. That's just strange.
And it's
For the
okay
rest
if
of
her
it.
fine ass is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because she's fine does not mean that she's not, crazy like a not say typical woman, but just anybody else out there. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's a lot of
She,
like what Trev was just saying. Like, just because she's fine doesn't mean that she doesn't have these issues.
she probably more crazy, like to your point, where you stay with somebody who look good just because. I think she probably fall in that range where her crazy was let slide just because people found her attractive. And I'm not talking about Halle Berry. Like, I don't know if y'all remember 90s Halle Berry, early, like, she was it. Like, she,
Hell yeah, we remember '90s Holly Berry.
she was it. Like, she was it.
Ow.
She had a lot of them
But
bald head girls trying to get that same cut, but it just couldn't
Everybody
cut out
trying to
right.
get the Halle
You see
Berry
the
cut.
buck shots. They couldn't pull it off.
I'm gonna run that video back one more time, man. See if we pull something from it.
I've heard people say, something must be wrong with Halle Berry. She can't keep a man. Who's to say I want to keep a man? I don't want to keep the wrong man. Like, I'm not crazy.
No.
Right?
No.
So when you find that you make a mistake, we all make mistakes. We have a right to say, oh God, this was a mistake. Let me start again. We have a right to do that.
That to me, it sounds like something that somebody will respond to when they're tired of people asking them questions, or when they get tired of looking in the mirror at the same results. I mean, if you weren't trying to keep a man, then you wouldn't be attempting to be in these relationships. So she clearly desired the relationship, but for some reason it didn't work out. And so it's okay if it doesn't work out, but don't try to make excuses for it as the reason as to why. Like, it was totally like your decision. Like, you are actively, intentionally hopping into these relationships looking for a particular outcome, and you're just not getting it. And sometimes you might have to look at self to see if it's the reason, if you're part of the reason as to why it's not turned out to the outcome that you want.
Y'all
how
remember
old is she?
Monsters Ball? Y'all remember Monsters Ball?
Yep. That's why she won that Oscar, boy. She let that dude do all them things to her.
Her and what's the girl from Scandal? I could never look at them the same after them
Yeah.
two
Kerry
incidents.
Washington.
Yeah, Kerry Washington and her. After Monsters Ball and after Scandal, I just was like,
Hey,
Yeah, but
Pete, you got to play the rest of that clip.
yeah, but real quick, but I want to
I was
bring
looking
up,
for it. I
like,
was
do
just looking for it, but it's
you
only
think
20
those
seconds. You got
guys,
it?
at least three or
Hold
four
on,
of
I'm
her
gonna send it to you.
relationships had domestic violence in it, and she actually had like full stories that she grew up in a violent household where her dad used to beat on her mom. Now, something about you attracting violent men like 3 or 4 of her relationships ended that way. That's why her hearing's messed up in one of her ears, and she attracted those relationships. And I'm trying to say, is it me reaching, or 3 or 4 are the same thing? I don't know. Might not be. It might not be it might not be the cookie.
I think that some people engage in like the whole fighting is acceptable. Like all relationships fight. I think people take that shit to the extreme. Like I think some people believe that like fighting for love is actually fighting the damn person. I'm gonna fight you into submission. I'm gonna. So if she believes something like that, that could be why she in that situation. If she grew up young, seeing domestic violence is how her father and mother, or how the people that was dating her mother interacted, she could normalize that, and she could be extremely chaotic when it comes to dealing with the men that's in her life. So she gets into more domestic violence situations or selecting chaotic men based off of normalizing that. That's why I'm not a proponent of everybody got to fight. Everybody don't got to fight. If y'all love each other, y'all should not be trying to hurt each other. Have a conversation. Take some time. You don't got to fight every damn body. Just step back sometimes. Like you shouldn't be engaging in a relationship where it's you and you against the other person. It's supposed to be y'all against the world. I mean, never supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, bet and choose better men and women, and stop engaging in back and forth in relationships.
I agree with you, Marcus. Your love language should not be squabble. No.
Yeah, I saw that law, but I didn't think that was part of the reason. But now that I'm looking at it, maybe it is a reason why she probably can't keep somebody. Hold on, I'm about to
Yeah, I
read
don't
it.
know what's to it. I really just read the headline. I just watched it, right? And it's just like one of the things where I guess I used to always say this joke, like she couldn't keep a man because she seemed like the type that didn't want to do certain things, right? You know what I mean? She just didn't seem like she was all that willing to please, I would say. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, what do I know? I'm just saying. That was my observation.
I was just going to tell you, freak meter is pinging low for her too. I'm pretty good at that, and I don't know, but if I had to go off first glance, I would say yeah, she's probably like a 3 on the freak meter out of 10.
Right?
So yeah, that's
3 out of 10.
Yeah, I think she's a 3 of 10 on the freak meter, but that's just me.
I mean,
but
we did see Monsters Ball though.
I did, and that was acting, and that tell me what she did in there that was freaky. Then
make me feel good.
That's you know what I'm saying? Like they showed a lot, but she ain't do a lot. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
She in a position where she ain't got to. I guess she feeling her mind. Like
right.
Most women that's attractive get, imagine a woman that's been tossed like held to the highest regard. Like she might be the most beautiful woman in the world. The amount of yeah. That's gonna be a hard sell to have.
But one thing that we didn't talk about is that the men that are getting women like Halle Berry could get another woman that looks better or just like Halle Berry. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's not really any man's loss that gets her. It's more so like shit, you got to work on yourself, because I'm sure Wesley Snipes could get a few Halle Berrys, and David Justice and whoever, Eric Benet. She's probably nothing to them. You know what I'm saying? So that's what a lot of people also don't. I'm like, oh, she's beautiful. It's like, man, I mean, come on, that come a dime a dozen. Go outside.
What they say? You show me a fine woman, and I'll show you a nigga sick of her.
Well, I don't know if I could be them dudes sick of her, but